Right, hello and welcome to our first stream of this revision GCSE series. I've got Jane and Kit with me to help, and they're going to ask questions on my explanations when they don't understand them. To start off with, we're going to look at how to get from a 6 to 7 questions. Now what's happened here is we've analysed all the questions you did and we worked out particular questions where the level 7 students outperformed the level 6 students, and this was one of the questions. So we're going to break down this question and make it a lot easier and show you all the things you need to know to be able to do this question. So the first thing you need to be able to do this question is multipliers. And you need to be able to work out the multipliers of these questions. So I'm just going to give you a few seconds to do each one and then I'll give you the answer. So work out the multiplier for a 5% increase. Right, the first one, we should do it, this is how you do all of these. To work out an increase, we've got 100% is what we start with, we add on 5, and that gives us 105. That gives us 105%, we turn that into a multiplier by dividing by 100, so that gives us 1.05. So the multiplier for a 5% increase is 1.05. I'm going to give you 30 seconds to have a go at the rest of the increases. Okay, you should be able to do the rest of the increases by now. So if we add on 100 to 12, we get 112. Turn that into a multiplier, that's 1.12. Add on 100 to 120, you get 220. So that's a multiplier of 2.20. I'll give you a few more seconds to have a go at the rest. Right, hopefully you noticed these were decreases, so in these cases you're going to take off the percentage. So 100 take away 20 is 80, divide that by 100 gives you a multiplier of 0.8. 100 minus 5 gives you 95, divide that by 100 you get a multiplier of 0.95, so that's a 9. And a 15% decrease, take that off 100, we get 85, so that's a multiplier of 0.85. And once again, this is an increase, so do remember to check your questions. We get, add that onto 100, 211, divide by 100, that gives us 2.11. Next thing we need to know how to do is how to combine percentage increases and decreases. So we're going to look at these questions. I'm going to give you a few seconds to have a go at the first one, then go through it. Right, that's enough time to give you an idea of, or at least give you a chance to have a go. We want to get the multiplier for each. So we've got a multiplier for the first one, which is 1.05. And then we're going to get a multiplier of 1.06 for the second one. And what we do is we times these two together. and we get our calculator, so 1.05 times by 1.06 gives us 1.113. So therefore now we need to go backwards and convert this into a percentage. So we times by 100, which will give us 111.3. So therefore our percentage increase is 11.3% increase. Right, I'm going to give you 30 seconds to have a go at the second one. Okay, let's look at this one. We've got a 12% increase, we have 11% decrease. Okay, so therefore we need multipliers of 1.12 times by a decrease, that's going to give me 0.89. And so therefore we're going to do 1.12 times 0.89. So get my calculator. Press enter. 1.12 times 0.89 gives me 0.9968. Gives me 0.9968. So we times that by 100, that gives us 99.68. So we see it's gone down, and it's gone down by 0.32. So it's a 0.32% decrease. So it hardly changes at all. Okay, let's have a go at the next one and give you another 30 seconds to do this one. Okay, both my students with me have finished this question, so let's just go through it. So 120% increase, that's a multiplier of 2.20, add on 100 and divide by 100, 2.20, followed by a 6% increase, so that's going to be a multiplier of 1.06. And just going to move that so I can see it. So we've got 2.20 times by 1.06, and that gives us 2.332. 2.332. So therefore, times that by 100 is 233.2. So we have a 133.2% increase.
Jane got that right.
And both my students got that right. So do you think it's time to move on from these?
Yeah, they're good.
Okay, so let's go on to the next stage. And we're going to now repeat percentage increases and decreases. So have a go at doing the first one without any instruction and see if you can get it right. Right, both our students seem to work that out quite quickly. So we know we've got 5% increase, that's a multiplier of 1.05. And if you think about it, it's times by that 5 times. I'm not going to fit that on the screen, which is the same as 1.05 to the power of 5. So we just do that again. 1.05 to the power of 5 gives us 1.276. 1.276. So therefore we have an increase of 27.6% for that question. Right, just going to give you a chance to do all 3 questions, and I'll give you about a minute to do those, see how you get on. Okay, I think the one that's causing, I'll go through the 12% increase quickly, which is the same as a 1.2 to the power of 6. I know this next one's causing some problems with both my students, so we'll have a look at that in more detail. So we've got 1.12, sorry, just do another line, 1.12 to the power of 6 gives me 1.97. Was that 1.9738? So that's going to give me 197.38. So that's going to be a 97.4% increase. Now 120%, so we've got a multiplier of 2.2, and we're going to do that to the power of 3. So 2.2 to the power of 3 gives me 10.648. So we times that by 100. So that gives me 164.8. So we now need to remember that we started off with 100. So we've got to take 100 off that. So that gives me 964.8% increase. Quite a tricky one.
I don't get that.
So, right. Remember, when we do these questions, here, if we times that by 100, we get 127.6. Okay, and we take 100 off to find the increase because we start with 100. Okay, so we start with 100. So if remember, you're starting with 100. This gives 1,064.8% from your start of 100. Take off that original 100, and you're left with 964.8%. This one, it's a multiplier of 0.92. We're going to repeat that 4 times. The power of 4 gives us 0.92 to the power of 4 gives us 0.716. 0.716. So therefore, that's going to be we're going to take 71.6 away from 100. So that's going to give us what's that going to be? 28.4% decrease. Okay, so remember, you've got to take that away from 100. I'm just going to check my accuracy because I did 71.6. I didn't go further. I went 3, and that would be 3. So if that is going to be closer to 28.4 than it is going to be to 28.3. So that's our answer. Right, next we're going to look at compound interest. So we're going to expand this into compound interest now. If we go back to our original question, just to see how we're progressing, you can see it's all about compound interest and trying to undo a compound interest to find the interest. So we've built up our percentages all the way through, and we're now getting to compound interest. So we're getting closer to our final question and seeing if we can all solve that in one go. Because that was a question that stumped all the students who got a level 6, or not all of them, but most of them. So first question is £500 invested at compound interest of 5% over 5 years. How much will they have at the end of that 5 years? I'm going to give you a couple of minutes to have a go at that one. Right, both the students had a go at that question, and it's looking quite good from what we've done so far. We know we've got £5,000, and we know we've got to times that by our interest. Okay, now over 5 years, 5% is a multiplier of 1.05. Over 5 years, we raise that to the power of 5, and then we times by all that interest increase, that percentage increase, to get our final answer. So it would be 5,000 times 1.05. Do be careful, it's only the 1.05 that's to the power of 5, not the 5,000.
As Jane.
They're giggling because one of them got it the wrong way around. Okay, so to the power of 5 gives us 6,381. 6,381. 0.407, so it's 0.41 to the nearest penny. Now that's how much we get at the end. If you wanted to calculate the amount of interest, then we need to take away the original amount. So you take away the original 5,000 if you wanted to calculate the interest. Now I've not asked that question, but if you were asked that question, we'd get, and it's a very common question to GCSE, we'd get £1,381.41 of interest. Right, let's just have a go at a depreciation question, and I think we'll move into the next stage of the lesson. Good point by my student. We don't have an initial value of the car. Let's just say the initial value of the car was £10,000. I knew there's a reason why I got these two here. So we'll say initial value of a car, £10,000, depreciates by 10% per year over 5 years. How much do you have left at the end of those 5 years? Okay, the value of the car after 5 years it depreciates by 10% per year. So we've got our original £10,000, and we've got our 10% depreciation means it's going to go down by 10%. So that's 90% after 1 year, which gives us a multiplier of 0.9, and we're going to do that over 5 years. Again, so we're going to times by that. Get our calculators, and we get 10,000 times 0.9 to the power of 5 gives us 5,904. So it's 5,904 .9. Now, where did you go? One of my students made a mistake on that.
I just made a mistake reading it. Yeah.
Just made a mistake reading it. Looked, we put all the right working, but somehow didn't write the right down and the right answer. I was trying to work out what a common mistake would be. I suppose a common mistake might be actually to use 1.1 rather than 0.9, or just try and take off 10% of a 10,000, just take off 1,000 each year and get 5,000. Could be another common mistake. These questions are just going to be identical. Let's move on because we're running out of time. I'm going to try and finish this in half an hour. So we're going to just you need to know your indice laws to do this question. Well, not all of them. The key one actually for this question is this indice law here, or something. Yeah, or actually knowing that how to undo indice laws as well. Okay, but we'll just go through these indice laws. I'll give you just a minute to have a go at the first 3 to start off with. Right, Kit's going to help me go through this. So, Kit, how did you do the first one?
I did 2 times by 4 because you times the indices.
Yeah, we're using this rule here where you times the indices. Good.
I didn't see those rules.
So x to 2 times 4, which gives us x to the 8. And the next one?
X to minus 4.
Why?
Well, because you just do the same thing.
Just do the same thing. 2 times minus 2 gives us x to the minus 4. And the next one?
Just x.
Just x. Because 5 times 0.2 is 1, and x to the 1 is just x. And this gives us a clue in how to undo indices, because 0.2 is power is a fraction, 1/5. So x to the 5 to the 1/5 is just x. So to undo any power, okay, you just raise it to the power of that 1 divided by that power again. So for example, if we do x to the 6, to undo that we raise it to the power of 1/6, and that will also give us x to undo that. So that leads into how we do these questions. So we're going to undo them by raising them to the same power, 1 over the same power. Okay, so let's have a go at this question here. I'll just give you 10 seconds because it's not a long question if you can or can't do it. Right, okay, we're just going to go through this. So x to the 5 equals 20. We want now the 5th root of 20 on your calculators. I think on my calculator I don't have that, so I'm just going to show you that. So on my calculator I do have the 5th root. Okay, so we're going to go, I'm not sure how I use this. Let's try that. No, it's not like that. So let's go like that, put that in, put the 5 in, and then we're going to go there, and we're going to do the fifth root of 20, which gives me 1.820. What else do we have? 820564. 820564. Now we've got to give this to three significant figures. I'm just going to rub this out to get myself more space. Now we've got to quote this as three significant figures. So the fourth significant figure is 0, so we don't round up, so that's 1.82. I just got asked the question, what happens if you round to two significant figures? Well, rule of thumb, okay, is if you round too much, you drop marks. If you don't round enough, then you don't drop marks. They don't tend to penalise if you don't round enough. So if you wrote 1.820564, you will get the marks. If you write 1.8, you will not get. You will lose a mark for lack of accuracy. Okay.
So you got
4 likes.
Okay. Right. I've just been told I'm on 4 likes. Thanks very much. Now, can we just do the last question? Give you a few seconds to have a go at that. Right, that's probably enough time to do that because it's just x to the 10th root of 30. You put that into the calculator.
Yeah, allow me some.
Such a dream.
And my two students have forgotten that they are being recorded right now.
It's £40.
So it's 1.40. Now they're getting the giggles. So we've got 1.405 to three significant figures is 1.41. Now I think, there we go. We've covered everything you need to know to be able to do this question. So all these topics build up to do this question. Okay, so it's a 3-mark question. So I'm going to give you exactly 3 minutes to have a go at it, and then I'll go through it.
Good luck.
You have no friends.
That's the halfway point, so should be getting nearer to the finish. Last 10 seconds.
291.
That's the end of your time.
Oh my gosh, yes, I got it. Sorry.
Right, somebody's got excited because they think they got the answer.
Maybe it happened.
Right, let's go through it. So the
No.
trick to this is setting up the question. So you've got £6,000 invested for 5 years at an interest rate of what X%. So let's just say, so that X% is 1 plus X over 100 as a multiplier. Remember, you divide by 100, then you add it to 1. And then we're going to raise that to the power of 5, and then we times it by the 6,000. And we know at the end that will be 8,229.35. So that's how you set up the problem. So we got 1 plus x over 100 to the power of 5 will equal 8,029.35 divided by 6,000. So we're going to work that out in our calculator. Let's just bring that over here out of the way. So we got 8,029.35 divided by 6,000, which gives us 1.33825. 1.3382225. Okay, so that gives us that. So we've got 1 plus x. Basically, you could put m as your multiplier there if you don't like the 1 plus x to the power of 5 equals that. So therefore we need to undo that. So therefore we do the fifth root, or to the power of 1/5 of all of that. So let's do that. So we've got our answer. I'm going to do the fifth root of my answer, if I can get it in there. There we go, of my answer. And that gives me 1.059999. 1.059999. And what we can see is we've got 1 plus x over 100 is that. Or you might just think that's our multiplier. You might be just happy just thinking your multiplier equals that. So if that's our multiplier, our interest is 5.99999, which is essentially 6.0% to the nearest quite many significant figures. So I would give my answer as 6%, having worked that out in this question. So the trick is to set up your question right. If you don't like the 1 plus x over 100, you could use the multiplier at that point, and then just realise once you've got your multiplier, you can always see that your percentage increase, your percentage rate is the bit after the decimal point, and that's how you do that question. If you want more practice, I think I've put another question in here. I will write in an answer to that. Later on this evening. And that's the end of the 6 to 7. In a couple of minutes we'll do the level 7 to 8 question.
Whoop, whoop.